Successful entrepreneurs understand that growth is change, but change is risky. Does that drive your philosophy as a young entrepreneur?
Absolutely. I think in the fashion industry, first of all, you're faced with people not really believing in what you're doing. Well, what you do is serious. So the more risk you take and the more you sort of show off that you can, really adds to the statement you've just said.
There is a risk, but the reason why I guess if there's anything that I've learned today that I want to share with other people is follow your passion. When you follow your passion, the risks, to answer your question now, the risks no longer become as insurmountable as they first seemed. So as long as you know what your purpose is, you know you've got a gift or a talent or whatever, and you're following it, go ahead.
The issue of risk as being entrepreneurs, the risk doesn't ebb off, it doesn't get better. All that happens is that with time, you just get better at managing risk and the stress around risk. And so business never gets easier. You just get better at managing the adversity, the risk, the sleepless nights, all the things that keep people in the comfort zone of that lovely SMS that rings on the 25th. Are the things that as entrepreneurs we simply get better at, but we never lose sight of the prize. And the prize is to take this business, do it better, be a transformation agent in the countries that we're in, and finally, if we can, make a bit of tin out of it.
That's my next question to you. Fundamentally, what are you motivated by? I love this expression, being a change agent or a transformation agent. I understand how important that is in the narrative of this country. But let's be honest. I mean, fundamentally, you're driven by money mostly, aren't you?
No. I'm driven by the fact that if you have a fantastic idea, if you have a good, solid idea, and you can turn it into a good business, and you can follow through with consistency, and you can follow through with drive, and you can solve problems that your consumers are willing to pay you to give them to the solution to, the success, and then the money will follow.
With regards to risk, I think an entrepreneur has risk as part of their DNA. You know, you cannot actually be an entrepreneur if you cannot take that risk. And over time, like one of my colleagues said, is that you actually understand the risk. You actually overcome the fears. And for a lot of people, the reason why they stay in corporate environments, I mean, you're a young person. The one thing that always stood in my head is that I'm young, I'm 25 years old, I'm 30 years old now, but 5 years ago I was 25 years old and I was like, well, you know, what do I have to lose? If I stay here, or if I leave here, there's nothing much to lose because I don't have a family, I don't have children. The only thing that I have to look into and pay for at the end of the month is my car. So the risk is something that is also self-created. I just feel that risk is in your heart, risk is in your head, and overcoming it is also something that's in your head. So as an entrepreneur, it's very, very important to understand what business you're in, what risks you might encounter, but then see that risk as just an impediment along the way. It does get better. So being an entrepreneur is a journey. It's something that you have to take that leap of faith.
Alexander, you've heard 4 inspiring takes on entrepreneurship. What's the common thread that you've heard?
Jamie, look, I think at the end of the day, what they're all referring to is that you accept the path of being an entrepreneur. Sorry, can you hear me? You accept it. It's who you are, as I said in my opening remarks. You asked the question, is money the driving factor?
Don't tell me it isn't.
It's not. Money, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, whatever the case is, you need to be able to remove yourself from the situation completely and understand that in business, there's several factors that keep that business going. Money is just one of them. You need people, you need raw materials, you need location, you need yourself. There's a whole lot of factors that keep that business going. If you remove any one of those other factors, the business will fail. So if you just focus on money and neglect the other factors that keep the business going, it's going to fail. So having money as your drive, that's your one mistake that you're going to make.
What are you most scared of as an entrepreneur?
I guess it's the most cliche, but for me, it's failure. failure in myself, failure that I didn't do better, because like many have said, money doesn't drive you, because when you start, you don't have money. You have nothing, and all you have is your passion. So I think for me, if I lose my passion, if I lose that drive, that thing inside me that says just do better, be better, then it's a problem.
I am afraid that what strives me, I use negative in a positive way. So what if you fail? Or what if this doesn't work? Or what if it doesn't have an impact? I ask those questions every day. Almost like an antivirus. Every day, how do I feel today? Does this make sense? Does this grow the brand?
So you're taking almost a kind of a climate temperature of sentiment.
Yes, every day.
Failure is present every day. We wake up in the morning with a business plan about how we're going to take charge of the day and how we're just going to win all through the day. We're going to go to have dinner by 8 or 9 or 11, and all the things that you needed to have achieved, you would have been done. The reality, though, is that there's little failures every day, whether it's the failure of a deadline being met, whether it's the failure of a meeting to happen, whether it's the failure of something to go through. I'll make an example. In a year, in an average year, you can put out something like between 90 and 100 different bids and proposals for work. This is excluding funding-related proposals. This is excluding anything in my other love jobs that I'm involved in. If you're lucky, in a year, 10 to 15 of them will succeed. So failure just becomes, sort of the fabric of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So again, very much like risk, what happens there is you have to have a healthy respect for failure and for what it could mean to your business and to your livelihood, and then again to the dependence on your business around you. But that respect must never turn into a stopping point or the type of stumbling block that completely cripples you from waking up and going straight back to it tomorrow.
Marty, let me ask you whether you think that failure is necessary in order to succeed as an entrepreneur. Is it kind of built into the formula, into the template?
Well, the only way you can improve or get anything right is by not getting it right to start off with. Because, failure is part of life. And you need to learn to be able to embrace failure.
But with better planning, you would have less failures.
Because along the way, you realize that this is what I intended to do, and then it didn't happen. But then something obviously will be able to guide you better as to how to achieve.
You talk of fear of failure. You choose how you view your situation. Before I came up to speak, I was nervous. But it's more about being anxious to succeed and having fear of failure. And that the common trend here is that we've all got high self-esteem. So we all know we're going to succeed. We're anxious about that. Because we know we're actually going to do it. There are going to be positive results. And because of what they teach us in textbooks and schools and universities, this word failure crops up. As entrepreneurs, or as least myself, I still get really excited and I go, screw that. I'm actually anxious that I'm going to succeed.
It's a good answer. Okay.
Thank
Let's
you.
move on to the business plan.
Right. Business plans. I remember just to give you a real life example. So I run school entrepreneurship programs. They run over a period of 10 months and there are 5 modules. Business plan is one of them. I do it right at the end of the program. The idea behind an entrepreneur having a business plan is that you're going to spend too much time planning and not enough time doing. And a fundamental...
It sounds like a government time now.
I think passes the DVD for it. So it's important for an entrepreneur to act. Well, without action, you're not going to know what you're capable of.
So you don't necessarily need a business plan?
No, you don't need a business plan and you don't need a loan as well.
All right. Very quickly then I come to the audience. Do you need a business plan?
In the beginning, yes.
You did. So you had a business plan. It was
Yes.
important. Did you stick to it? Bet you did.
Of course not.
Nigel, yes or no? Do you need a business plan?
Yes
But
or no. To me, a business plan evolves.
yeah.
It's a document that just shows what you want to do today, the 28th of March. It's going to change on the 29th.
So it's an organic living. It's an organic living document. Often, people who are not entrepreneurs are more focused on planning than they do.
Yes.
Lynette, do you need a business plan?
Innate Investment Solutions never had one.
Never had one.
No.
Yeah.
But when I use the word business plan, I use it very loosely, and many of my friends will tell you that too, because whether it's a social situation or a business situation, I'm always like, so what's the business plan? And that's, to me, is simply, what is the plan of action? That's what it means. So to sit and write on a hard documentation, no, but I'm very happy to write a proposition that gets us to a point of action.
And sometimes there's sometimes inertia in creating the business plan that don't actually get up and do something. Mansi, do you need a business plan?
I will agree with Lynette. Till this day, I do not have a business plan. I truly believe in validating your business idea. And being in business is actually validating your business idea on a daily basis.
Put it better, Mansi. Folks,